Okay, go.
Hello, everybody. It is Alex here, and we have Zach here, and we are here from the Central Comics Podcast. And today we have our special guest, Jake from the Brave and the Boys.
Oh, I guess I'm not Daredevil. Hold on. I thought I was going to do the whole podcast as Daredevil. But then I guess I couldn't see. I couldn't see the tier list then.
Yeah, you planned to do that with Labruski, and then you didn't.
I just didn't want people to know that I was on the Labruski podcast.
Fair enough. Fair point.
I'm just kidding. I'll be nice. So, guys, thank you for having me. This is an honor to be on the Comic Central podcast.
Yeah, and the channel. It'll be double posted. So it's exciting. It's cool, and I've made this tier list.
Okay, I'm excited to see how different ours are.
DC heroes. So we'll have some battling, some arguing, some absolute, like, I might actually punch Zach in the face. I don't fully know.
Not.
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I didn't put Guy Gardner on the list. That's the one disclaimer.
Oh my! Did your brother see the photo of you as Guy Gardner?
That's perfect. It's a perfect photo.
You might need to show it for the people watching.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull it up in a sec. And then afterwards, we need to do a tier list of your favorite comic book YouTubers, and I better be S tier.
S tier, Jake, Brave and the Boys. Everything else,
yeah,
S tier,
Brave and the Boys. Jordan can be C tier. Jordan can be C tier. Okay, so do we go? How do we do this? I've never done a tier list before. I've seen them people rank their favorite potato chips and stuff. So
what you do is you see a character. You can do the first character. You can pick it out, and then you just click on it, right click, and then drag it up to what tier.
Okay, so I got this one. What Flash is this? Do I know?
This is Barry. This is New 52. Brett Booth. I think this is
So am I ranking the character as a whole, or the character from a specific era or a specific run, or just the character as a whole?
So there's two Flashes on here, as you can probably see. We also have Wally.
I just gotta be honest. Everyone's obsessed with Wally. I don't think I'm a massive Wally fan. So
that's fair. For me, they're the same.
Off the bat, I'm gonna do an easy one off the bat. Something not controversial. We're just gonna put Nightwing in S tier.
Yep.
There we go.
That is my channel profile picture there.
Yeah.
Right there.
So off the bat, there we go. I think it needs no explanation. He was the best Robin when he was Robin. He grew up into his own identity, the best Nightwing, and yeah. There we go. Now, let's move on. Flash. Okay, so Flash, I feel is an important character. I would say I would argue to say that if there was 4 members of a Trinity, if there was, if you would look at the Trinity plus one more, the Flash is up there in terms of his franchise. I like Barry a lot. I feel to me, I mean, it's weird. I grew up, my first interaction with the Flash was Wally, but I feel they said his name so infrequently. I just assumed it was Barry the whole time, Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. That's fair. I think I have an opinion on this. They're about equal, in my opinion.
Is B too low for the Flash? Do I go A, or is B fair?
I don't know. It depends. We'll probably have to recalibrate it at some point because we have so
many. So I'm not locked in. If I put him at B, I can move him up to A, or if I go A,
you
can
move him down.
Yeah.
I think there's just something that we should do. If you hit the settings button, one of the wheels, do the lowest one and do the lowest one, and you can add a tier.
Okay, so add a row below.
You can add an F tier for some characters that will show up in this, and you can use the things on the side to drag it down.
Okay, I guess I'm fine with Barry as A tier as long as I'm not fully locked in.
Yeah,
but I feel am I crazy for feeling Wonder Woman should be A tier and Flash should be B tier? I just feel he's one step below the Trinity, but
I think that's fair.
That might be fair. Is that where Wonder Woman?
Yeah,
if I move Flash to B and Wonder Woman to A, I feel good about that. You know,
but I really like Flash. That's fair.
I just feel I can't give Wonder Woman S tier, but S is reserved for super special ones. I don't think I'm gonna have very many S tiers, but Wonder Woman is awesome. She's oh my God, the comments I get on YouTube sometimes from the dark side of the internet where they're there's no such thing as the Trinity. Wonder Woman is nowhere close to as cool as Batman and Superman. And I feel arguably she could beat them both in a fight. Wonder Woman, if you guys have read Wonder Woman Dead Earth, she's the coolest character of the Trinity, I feel
Jake, I sadly don't have any Wonder Woman because I was gonna buy Gail Simone, and then I just went out of print. Like,
you can get the finest edition. You should buy Wonder Woman Dead Earth though. I literally took Jordan's copy, and he had to buy himself a copy again later. Like Wonder Woman Dead Earth is awesome.
Yeah, Jake's like good at stealing books.
I think I'm okay. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Is this Cassie?
Yeah, that's Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl. I think that might be.
I feel like I've read one book with Cassie. I don't know her that well. I don't know. D. I don't know. I read a book called The Outsiders. It was a cool book where Nightwing was like the leader of a team called The Outsiders.
Yeah.
But it was like the transition of the Teen Titans and the Titans where they fought this android of Superman and it like killed off a bunch of members of the Titans and the Teen Titans. And then Nightwing had to go form his own team called The Outsiders. It was recommended to me by Gianni, and you know that pretentious guy loves to recommend good comics. So
oh yeah, he loves quote unquote real comics.
Yeah. Supergirl. If we're going Supergirl, I mean, I'd give the book S tier, but as a character, I feel like I'll give her B tier.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's the specific book I had. My nomination for book club, I won. Jake, are you still sour over that?
No, I'm only sour when the books tie. I don't know how we're supposed to do a book club with two different books, and I feel like the one that we have the author of the book on should just win by proxy. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
So Static Shock, I think culturally is an insanely important character.
Oh yeah.
And I have to be honest, I watched the Static Shock cartoon as a kid before I really even knew it was tied to the DC world. Like the episode when Jon Stewart shows up was awesome. So culturally, like I would argue to give Static maybe like A tier. Do you think that's fair, or do you think he's B tier?
I'd give him B. Probably because it just is a minor adaptation.
Yeah, but I just feel like what he stood for to like kids when his show was on and with Milestones, it's important. So I guess if you want to move into B tier, I mean, is this my list or are we doing this as a team?
It's our list. It's
okay. So what do you think, Zach? Do you think he's A tier or B tier? You can be the tiebreaker.
I don't know. I watched the show a little bit. I've seen
what do you think?
A couple of episodes. It was really good. It was a good timepiece of like good animation for that show.
And it was culturally important. They dealt with real issues.
It did. I think
he's gonna get
it up to A.
I think maybe Alex, what it is that you weren't alive when the show was on, I think, right?
He wasn't either.
I wasn't either, but
like you were still young enough to watch like reruns probably on WB. Like if you, I would assume, how old are you, Zach?
18.
He grew 18, up with like Brave and the Bold. That was his stuff.
Okay. Let's put it at A tier for now, but we can move it down.
Fair. Oh yeah. Next we have Vic.
The question is one of my all-time favorite characters.
Yeah.
I can agree.
How do you guys? So my first introduction was him on Justice League Unlimited. Was that show before your guys' time, or did you guys watch that show at all?
I watched that show.
I've watched some of it.
My favorite episode of that whole show is the Double Date episode written by Gail Simone.
Yeah.
If you guys have seen that one where he's dating the Huntress and he goes on a double date with Green Arrow and Black Canary.
When you mentioned it in a video.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then the question run is super iconic. Personally, I'd put him at S tier, but I feel like maybe you guys would put him lower. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a pretty like solid A. Maybe leaning towards S, but I mean the question's phenomenal. My first time I saw the question was Brave and the Bold. And the question is just such a cool character.
Yeah.
Like having no face.
Yeah. Did you guys ever watch the Brave and the Bold crossover movie with Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Exactly.
I actually love that movie. It's so much better than it has any right to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we got Adam. I feel like that's a pretty easy F tier.
Mm-hmm. Adam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about Adam. I'm sorry. Like
I thought when you said Adam, I thought I might have put Adam Strange on the list. I forgot to put him on the list.
That's okay. Do any of us care about Aquaman?
He's like a B or C. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would argue I feel like he's a healthy C tier. He's got some awesome runs, but like what? Like two of them? Like the people that love Aquaman, but I just think he's I wouldn't call him a joke. I feel like he can be written really cool. But like to me, Aquaman will never be like anything other than the old Aquaman cartoon show from the 70s. Because my thing is like my family only had Boomerang. It was their only cable channel, and that just played reruns from the 70s. So I grew up on Super Friends and the old Aquaman show, and I just feel like he's a little flamboyant, you know. We'll put him at C tier.
I watched Boomerang when I was younger too.
Yeah. What cartoons did you grow up on?
Oh, Space Ghost.
Nice. Okay.
And Meet the Jetsons, Flintstones.
Nice. Okay. Jetsons, Flintstones.
I watched some of the episodes of the Aquaman show, but yeah, it was.
And then
Boomerang is underrated, and not many people.
Boomerang is super underrated, and honestly, at the time, I hated it because all the kids were talking about show like SpongeBob or like Danny Phantom, shows I had never seen, or Ben 10, like that I'd never seen or heard of. But now that I'm older, I feel like the Hanna-Barbera was so tied to Warner Brothers, and it gave me a love of like comics before I even read comics. You know?
Yeah.
How are we feeling about Batgirl? How do we like better, Batgirl or Batwoman? Like where do we rank them?
I think they're both good characters. As character, I think they might both be B. I think that DC just has so many good characters that's hard to rank them low.
I just feel like with Batwoman, she could be way higher up in the tier list, but she's not always utilized in the right way. Like when she's utilized in her solo series or in Rise and Fall of the Batman, she's so cool. But then half the time, I feel like they don't know what to do with her other than like, I don't think they know what to do with her character. So I think she's held back because when she's used well, she's used super well. Yeah. But I don't feel like she's always used well. Sometimes she's just like the 6th most important member of the Bat family. You know what I mean?
She's also
like they're like, oh, she's his cousin and she's gay. That's all. That's the only thing that makes her different. And it's like I feel like there's more to her. She's like a tactical genius.
Yeah.
Like I love her relationship with the female question. I feel like it's done cool, but I feel like Barbara Gordon has to go a little bit higher than Batwoman. I think Barbara Gordon has been around longer. Yeah. I think she's more important as a character. Let's look at it this way. DC was going to make a Batgirl movie. They weren't making a Batwoman. I guess there was a Batwoman TV show, though.
That show was... I watched the first season. It was fine. And then they changed who Batwoman was.
Yeah.
I think she quit, though, so I don't think they had a choice.
Yeah.
She couldn't handle 23 episodes a year. I couldn't handle that.
I can barely handle watching 23 episodes a year. You know what I mean? Like, I love TV now because it's like 6 episodes, and they're like 30 minutes long, and 15 of those minutes are credits. You know what I mean? But
and you can't handle watching. You haven't even finished Young Justice 24 episode seasons. You're a fraud.
Dude. Okay, but honest, Young Justice.
I watched it when they brought it back after it was canceled. Did you watch like when they brought it back? I feel like the season where I think like I ended it when like Connor dies, and I'm like I'm not gonna keep watching after they kill off like my favorite character.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
After the story arc after that's better. There's one with Artemis that's really good in my opinion. As Cassandra.
I don't know. I like the first season. That was so well written and just phenomenal. Like you can't...
I thought season 2 was really good too.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we saying Batgirl is B or A? I just feel like Batwoman has to be 1 tier below Batgirl.
I think I can agree with that.
Batwoman B, Batgirl A, I think.
Are we thinking she's B or A? I feel like she's B. I feel like B to me. A is like a hero that stands in their own right. B is like a secondary tier. And I feel like Batwoman would be C tier. It is
Batwoman's C, but above Aquaman.
Yeah.
So you think Aquaman's D or?
No, I'm saying C, but above, like higher than Aquaman and C.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So so the ranking is in order, or is it just
fully in order? You can like shift them around.
Okay. I love Cassandra Cain, but I've only ever really read her in Rise and Fall of the Batman. You know what I mean? I know that people are ride or die. I know that people will riot when she's not higher on this list. I just haven't read enough with her. I don't know how you guys are with her.
Yeah, that's how I am with her too.
She's so interesting, such an interesting character, and then Damien kind of is a knockoff version.
Yeah. Is it wrong to put her D tier? I just feel like I can't even like. I haven't read any of the stuff where she's. I just don't know her that well. She's before my time.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really read much with her in it either, so it's kind of hard to like make an accurate guess of where to put a character when we don't know the character well.
She was great in Rise and Fall, though.
She's cooler. She's cooler than Wonder Girl to me, but I would still say that I don't think she's probably more interesting than Batwoman, but I wouldn't put her on the same level as Batwoman, at least currently. Would you?
Yeah.
You think she's the same level as Batwoman?
I think she and Wonder Girl are on the same level, but I think those three are on the same level with Batwoman there, honestly.
So do you think these two should be moved up to C, or should Batwoman be moved down to D?
I'd say we move them up to C because I think they're all
let me keep them on D. I just don't know what to put as like is D lower than I'm thinking? Batman, I feel like S tier, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think he's below Nightwing? I'm just kidding.
We had this conversation earlier. He said Nightwing was better than Batman. I was like, whoa, pump the brakes.
Hey, that's
isn't that the name of his book, Better Than Batman?
Yeah, it's literally that book, Better Than Batman.
Still, I just can't rationalize putting Nightwing over Batman in any sense.
That Batman should have like 15 sentences in jail.
Okay, make an S+ tier and put Nightwing on that and keep Batman at S tier.
Good idea.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Then add tier above.
Add a row above. Okay. And then
we move Wonder Woman up to the A tier.
Yeah, to the A tier. Yeah, that seems fair.
Wait, so are we moving Wonder Woman from A to S, or is she staying at A? Okay.
A to S, yeah.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah, this looks better. How are you guys feeling about Batman Beyond? I feel like you guys might have missed the hype of Batman Beyond.
No.
Nope. Have you guys rewatched it, or?
I've rewatched the entire
Batman
series.
Beyond is phenomenal.
It's so good.
Yeah.
S tier feels high for someone was really only amazing in one show. You know what I mean? Like they could have done so much more with the character of Terry. Here's my question: what would you put higher, Mask of the Phantasm or Return of the Joker?
I haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm yet, but Return of the Joker's peak.
Yeah, Return of the Joker is very good.
Jake, I'm watching it for my retrospective series. If you want to talk about Mask of the Phantasm on that, I will gladly have you join.
Okay. Is A, in your mind, too low for Batman Beyond, or do you think...
I'd say B because of the low adaptation, but I love that show.
He got a compendium this year, but I didn't pick it up. Did anyone get the compendium?
Yeah, he has it right here.
What do you think this is?
That's kind of a mini compendium.
I got it for my birthday for I think it's like $35 or something. It's cheap to get.
How are we feeling about Garth? I feel like Garth is D tier. Like my favorite adaptation of Garth was the Teen Titans show. Yeah, Garth. Wasn't Garth
Garfield.
Logan's name?
Garth is
Garth is Aquaman. Yeah. I feel like Changeling or Beast Boy, whatever you want to call him. I feel like he's D tier. He thinks he's B tier, but I feel like he's D tier.
Fair.
Yeah, I can see that.
He can be way too annoying.
Yeah, he definitely can. It's also like he has range with his powers, but like not an incredible amount of range where he can do really, really cool things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that he's consistently played by the same voice actor.
Yeah, that is a good touch.
Yeah, like in Young Justice, that's cool. I was just thinking about that.
Big Bard is hard for me to rank because in terms of relevancy, she's not the most relevant character, but her history is incredibly important. She was based off of Jack Kirby's wife, who was taller than him and was like a powerful force of nature. And I feel like she's a very special character, but she's also just not used a lot. Like Alex from the Discord sent me this cover where she hooks up with Superman in front of Mr. Miracle in one issue because Darkseid mind controls her. And I just feel bad about that. That's Jack Kirby's wife. No one should be with her other than Scott, but where would you guys rank Big Barda?
Mm-hmm. Big Barda, I think, is probably C.
Okay.
Or D.
I would say she's one lower than Mr. Miracle. So would you say Mr. Miracle is B tier and she's C, or would you say Mr. Miracle's C and she's D?
I think Mr. Miracle has to be C because there's one great comic, but other than that, there's nothing.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's so many, like the original Fourth World comic is so good. Like
I haven't read it yet. I'm sorry.
Okay. I feel like, he represents, Jack Kirby felt really confined and trapped by his creative liberties in comics. So he wrote a character called Scott Free that could escape anything. And that was supposed to be him escaping the confines of the restrictions he had to do in comics to be creatively free. So I think it's a really important character. I would put it at C tier, but we can move it to, I mean, I just feel like it's weird, or B tier. I feel like it's weird to put, I wouldn't put him at D and her at F. I feel like I would put him at, we can do C, I guess.
Yeah, I think he should probably be in C for now, but we can.
Black Canary, are we putting her at B or C? I feel like those are or do you think she's A?
I think she's better than Green Arrow.
Dang, that's tough.
We can go back to her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never been obsessed with the Jaime Reyes character. I like Ted Cord a little bit better. I think Jaime Reyes. I know, right? Seriously, Jaime Reyes, I feel like is more culturally relevant and it's important. I actually liked his movie, but I can't see myself putting him any higher than D tier. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Higher than B?
No, D. I would put him at D or C. I don't think he's more relevant than
C. I'd put him C.
I think C is probably like a healthy C. Because I know I grew up with Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle,
Batman Brave and the Bold.
He's
in the second episode.
Yeah. I think C's pretty comfortable.
I guess then would you put Booster at B? Because I feel like Booster's a level above.
Reyes. 100%.
You've read.
I read the new 52 pickup.
52
the
pickup.
Pickup is really good.
It's so.
He
good.
hasn't read 52.
And it's not that I don't like. It's not that I don't like Jaime Reyes. My favorite is just Booster Gold's friendship with Blue Beetle. So like I would read an ongoing of the two of them forever. So
yeah.
But then I guess I feel weird because I feel like Black Canary is a step above Booster Gold. Is A too high for Black Canary?
I don't know. She's really reoccurring.
She's really good and important.
She's in a lot of like runs.
And like
I love the issue. I love the episode of Brave and the Bold where she's not really treated with respect because she's a woman by the Justice Society, and she has to like fight for her place. Like they love Batman, but they treat her like a little kid, and she has to like fight for her place. I thought was super good. Her ongoing right now by Tom King is heartbreaking. Have you guys read the ongoing Black Canary right now?
No, Jake, it took you a whole 22 minutes to mention Tom King. I think that's a record for any streamer video.
I didn't even mention him during the Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, I know. This is like this is like a day in history.
I'll put her at A for now, but we can always move her down. I think she's more relevant to me than Batgirl. I think she's more relevant than Batman Beyond, than Booster Gold. I think. Now, how do you guys feel about Cyborg? My favorite Cyborg was the Teen Titans show, and I liked Cyborg in Doom Patrol. But honestly, Cyborg just feels really one note to me. You know?
Yeah.
D tier.
You think D tier? Okay.
From the scale that we're on right now, D tier.
Yeah. With the scale, that makes sense.
Then is this Dr. Fate? They look, his head's cut off.
Yep, that's Dr. Fate.
You cut off his helmet, the most important part of him. I feel like.
Man, that's the cropping issue for the tier list.
You chose the picture.
I was the one who chose the picture.
Okay, okay. I don't know. It feels wrong to put him at F tier, but I also feel like he's less important than all the characters in D tier.
Yeah. The thing is, he just doesn't have like much material out, really.
I just feel like I'd rather read a Doctor Strange comic than a Dr. Fate comic.
Ooh.
Fair.
Is that controversial? Let's just put him at F tier for now. We need some at F tier. Okay. So this is Cassie. I like, and this is Donna Troy, right?
Yeah.
I like Donna Troy more than I like Donna Troy more than Cassie. So I feel like I'm good at her.
Because you haven't read John's Teen Titans.
No, I haven't. I need to get that book.
That's how you get to know Cass.
Is this Connor or is this John?
That's John because of the genes, I think.
I like John more when he was a kid. I don't hate him now, but it just feels like every story is like him trying. Like he was kind of interesting in Dark Crisis a little bit, but like I'm tired of him being like, I lost my childhood and I'm trying to be the next Superman and I'm trying to be different. It's like I feel like. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not the biggest John fan now, but if this was a picture of John as a kid, I'd probably rank it higher.
Yeah, I think he's like B or A as a kid. But right now he's in the trap of the legacy character limbo.
Yeah, that's a good point to put it. Do you think he's higher than C tier, or do you think, because B tier feels high? I wouldn't say I like John as much as Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I think C's
C can be comfortable.
Yeah.
Wally, how are we feeling about Wally?
B.
Yeah. He really likes Wally. I know that much.
He's about comfortable with Barry for me.
Okay, moving on. Green Lantern. Just kidding.
Wait, we need to try. I feel like we might need a trash tier for a specific character.
Which character?
But I'll.
For Damien?
No. Do you want to say? Do you want me to say who?
No, we'll get there. You don't like Green Lantern?
Oh, Green
Lantern. I can't see which Green Lantern this is because his head's cropped off.
How?
Okay. Hal's my favorite Green Lantern that I've read in comics. John Stewart is my favorite Green Lantern that I've watched in adaptations.
Yep, I can agree with that.
How would you rank them?
Hal in A, B, and then I think that Kyle and John go in B or C.
I feel like I'm good with Green Lantern in A tier. I feel like John is good in B tier.
And then is Kyle gonna be in C?
Yeah,
I don't even really like Kyle that much.
Yeah,
I put him in D.
I think yeah. I can agree with Kyle and D. Yeah,
that's fun.
John is so cool because all their different versions of using the lantern ring is more creative.
Kyle's even.
I just feel like with John in comics, it's all around the fact that he let a planet die. Like he just needs to move on from that already. Like they always just guilt him about that.
Yeah. Having the schematic thing for John is just it's so cool.
And then
because there's nothing. That's my favorite version of the Green Lantern projections is John's.
Mine's because of his sketchy as an artist.
I don't know. I just haven't read enough Kyle. You know what I mean? Like I've pretty much read the John's run, and then I feel like John Stewart was good in the Scott Snyder Justice League run. Okay, so you don't like Green Arrow is what I'm hearing, Alex?
No, I just said Black Canary's better.
I would say they're equal. Like Green Arrow's had some iconic runs, and he has more ongoing. You'd really put Green Arrow at the same level as Batgirl?
Oh,
as Booster Gold?
Yeah.
I mean, he's Arrow. Like, if we're going through all adaptations of all these characters, Arrow had such a profound effect on the landscape. Without the Arrow show, we wouldn't have had everything else. Sure. The Longbow Hunters run is phenomenal. I feel like I would say there's no way Green Arrow is a lower level than the Question.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think A tier is.
Yeah, he can be an A.
Yeah, A tier solid.
Does it make me think of Booster Gold again? And Ted Cord. I was thinking about putting both. I didn't put Ted Cord. Ted Cord. Where would we put Ted Cord?
I'd put him at C, and I'd move Jaime Reyes to D. But I'm a bastard.
Whoa. I think I have a idea. I think. Did you hear about this, Jake? Who they're gonna cast as Ted Cord?
Who?
Jason Sudeikis, our favorite actor.
That'd be great. I could see that.
That would be, he'd be a good Ted Cord.
Since all of us love Ted Lasso.
I love Red Hood, but A tier feels high for Red Hood. If there was a B+ tier or an A- tier, I'd put Red Hood there. But to me, I feel like I can't give Red Hood A tier as much as I love him so much, you know?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think,
B tier.
I think B tier.
Would you say back? Yeah, back feels weird. It feels weird to put Is Red Hood C tier, even though I love him?
I think I was about to say he's C tier because of his character regression, which is so common.
Have you read his Rebirth run though? His Rebirth run is so good.
I've read the first volume, and all the other volumes are out of print. It is really good, but there's been a lot of character regression in the last like 7 years. He has not been able to keep his same character.
I feel like he's somewhere in, but I feel like the drop off on this list between B and C is profound. You know what I mean? There's such a quality difference between B and C on this list. But if you guys
B- tier wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay.
I think that'd be a pretty good idea, honestly. And then we can.
Yeah.
So is there anybody in C that needs to be moved up? And is there anybody that needs to be moved down?
This is weird. I need to look at what's in C.
Should
Oh, wait,
Aquaman be moved up to B minus?
I think Aquaman should stay in C. Oh, this is way
Okay.
easier to see.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to
Great.
see. We just finally put it in full screen.
Oh, nice.
We've never used StreamYard before.
I
think to move up, we move up John, Kate, and Scott.
I don't know. Let's keep moving on.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter, is he C tier?
C. Or maybe even D. I haven't just read him in like anything.
Yeah, he doesn't really have.
He's such a cool character in Justice League, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him on the same level as Kyle Rayner. I don't think.
Yeah.
That's
What's your problem with Kyle Rayner?
He's okay.
Do we feel better about this?
It's so important.
I'm okay with that too.
Okay, let's put him in. It's so important.
I hate Orion.
I
I think
do
he's
too.
a jerk.
But you put Kyle in trash. Put Kyle back to D.
No.
No.
I'm moving Animal Man to S plus.
Fair.
Yep.
You love Animal Man first one run. I guess that's fair. I haven't read any.
Damien
Animal
goes
Man.
to trash also.
Yep.
Whoa! Hey!
I can agree with
I'm
that.
a Damien defender.
Is
Okay,
Constantine
explain
Constantine S or A tier or B tier? I feel like Mr. Terrific is B minus. Mr. Terrific I feel like is cool, and I feel like his character is only going to grow more with him in the Superman movie. But I just feel like I can't put him. C feels low and B feels high.
C. I think he's a C.
He's like the fourth smartest man in the world.
Yeah, I think that's B minus.
Okay, then put Tim Drake in B then.
Okay, there's a reason that he's going to be in the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
Just
And
throwing
he
that
was
out
really
there.
he's really great in Strange Adventures. Like that was my favorite I've ever read him. But you guys think C or B minus?
B minus.
Fine, I guess we can put him in B minus. Fine, guys.
You've been overruled.
And then I'm gonna make a trash minus tier. Oh, I made one too many. Delete row.
I think that we should move Damien.
We're
up
gonna
to
make trash minus, and I'm gonna move Kyle down to trash minus.
Hey, that's messed up.
Constantine's got to be A tier, right? I feel like
yeah,
he's more relevant than Supergirl. He's more relevant than Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it. I would argue to say he's more relevant than most of A tier.
High A
But
tier.
I would say, yeah, we'll put him here at the top of 8.
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling about Plastic Man?
Oh,
This is why I made trash tier.
Really? For
Yes.
Plastic Man? Really? Oh,
Have you
I
seen
don't
the
know
issue where he becomes a dress for Big Bart? Was it he becomes Big Bart's dress?
I swear, I just read this.
That's
Do you know
awesome.
what comic this is in? I just read this issue.
Okay. I would say he's D or F.
Yeah, I can agree with D or F. I think I really like him.
If he's in D tier, I feel like Martian Manhunter needs to be in C tier.
Yeah,
Plastic Man should be in trash for what he did to Big Barda.
Plastic Man is awesome.
No, but he's also done some other messed up stuff.
Okay, yeah, but he has so many.
We know the actor who played Plastic Man got canceled.
No,
I don't
that
care
was
about the
Elongated Man. He's not on the list.
Oh, okay. I'd put Plastic Man above Elongated Man. Do we care about the Huntress? I don't really care about the Huntress that much.
Nah, I don't really see her in much.
D or F tier?
D. D.
Yeah.
And again, we need to move Orion to trash
prey.
minus, and then we move up Kyle to D, and then Damien to C.
Zatanna, is she A tier? I feel like she's arguably A tier, no lower than B.
B. I'd put her B. She was just in the video we just recorded before this.
Yeah, I think like that's where a B plus would go for Zatanna.
Yeah, but
I'd just put her B.
We can't make 16 different tiers.
We have too many tiers. Get rid of trash minus. We have too many tiers now.
You just want Kyle to be higher, bro. You're the Kyle fanboy. Move on. I'll make trash minus. Don't tempt me. I feel good about Zatanna in A tier, and I feel good about Shazam in B or B minus.
Yeah, I think Shazam is a really important character. It's like it's one of those characters showing that like younger kids can be superheroes too. Like it kind of like
I hated him in the New 52. I loved him everything before, and I loved him everything after, but I didn't like how Johns wrote him like an asshole.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just read that like the back like issues, like the back.
I would say Shazam is solid B tier. He's more important than Red Hood and Mr. Terrific.
C.
You think he's C?
I love the movie, but I don't know. I kind of like the character. I read like the back issues, which is basically the movie.
I think lowest for Shazam would be B minus. I don't.
Yeah, I can't see him on the same level as Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
Like there was a time in comics when Captain Marvel outsold Superman. So like his historical relevancy is insane. We got the amazing Miracle Man run based off of Captain Marvel. So like the whole concept of like the family and the kids churning, I feel like he's got to be B tier.
Yeah. I agree with that because the family dynamic was important too.
Would it be wrong to move Wally down to B minus?
No.
I don't think that would be bad at all.
I don't think you should.
I think you should.
Okay. Connor Kent, loved him in Young Justice. Feel like he's kind of a prick in everything else I've read.
I think he's a C. I think him and Cassie should be moved up to C because their relationship in John's Teen Titans is amazing.
But I feel like we got to look at it more than just one run. If we were looking at Mr. Miracle, we could argue Mr. Miracle's S+ because of how good Mr. Miracle is. But I'm trying to look at the relevancy of all of the characters. Like he's kind of annoying in Reign of the Supermen. Like I don't know. I feel like Jonathan and Connor shouldn't be on the same level. We need to make a choice about who's higher.
I think John is probably higher than.
So would John go to B minus and Connor in C, or would you put Connor in D?
I'd put Connor in C and then move B minus.
But if he's in D, he can sit right next to Cassie.
No, he died, so they're separated.
I guess it just feels weird. Like, as much as I'm not crazy about Cyborg. I feel like Cyborg is more relevant than Connor.
Yeah.
We can put Connor in D. He can be with Cassie, even though he died.
But is D too low for Cyborg?
Yes.
Should Cyborg be in C?
I don't know. I think it might be perfect. I don't know. I feel like so many of these characters are just amazing. I've only picked good characters.
Cyborg should be above Plastic Man.
Yeah, we'll move
Plastic Man down to trash, okay?
Plastic Man deserves his spot. Stop talking about Plastic Man like that. Get his name out of your mouth.
No.
I would argue Swamp Thing should be S tier. They've had as many good runs as Batman and Wonder Woman. Like I would argue that, like, I think someone said this online before, so I don't know who said it. I don't want to steal someone's quote, but Swamp Thing is almost DC's Daredevil, where has just historically always had phenomenal runs. But do you think Swamp Thing's A tier, or do you think he's more relevant? You think he's B?
B. I think
so. Have we ever read any Swamp Thing runs?
I know.
That would be putting him on the same level as Booster Gold.
Yeah, I think Swamp Thing is much more relevant.
No, Booster's good. You just can't compare him.
Should Booster be B minus and Swamp Thing be B, or should we move Swamp Thing to A?
Swamp Thing can be A, I guess.
Swamp Thing should be A.
Like, you have Alan Moore, you have Scott Snyder, there's so many relevant Swamp Thing runs. Yeah, Lillian's okay.
You have the absolute still.
I'm good with Starfire in C tier.
Yeah.
Do you guys care more about her than C tier?
No, I think C tier is pretty comfortable.
Yeah, but again,
would you put Raven at higher, or do you think Stargirl is more important than Raven?
Starfire.
I think Raven's more important.
Raven, I like Raven more. And Hover, without her, Teen Titans villains would be nothing. No Brother Blood, no Trigon is major. She's important. I think she's B. Or
You
B
think
minus.
you think she's more important than Wally?
B minus.
Yeah. Oh.
I think Wally should be in B still, but B minus for
What
me.
what if she's in C tier? We just can't have every Titan ever in C tier. Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. She deserves to be B plus.
do you think she should be C and D, or you think they should be higher up?
I think that Raven should be B plus.
You think Raven? We should make a new tier and make B plus and put her
Or B
above.
minus, my bad. B minus, my bad.
Okay, I'm fine with B minus. Is Stargirl in C or D?
Starfire.
Yeah, sorry, Starfire.
D, not my ship.
Who is this? Oh,
Spoiler.
Spoiler. I don't really care about Spoiler.
Whoa! This is all banking on like Tiny Detective Comics for a few of these characters.
Yeah, but like just because one writer made them amazing doesn't mean as a whole they're amazing.
I'd
Like,
just put it in D.
she's not relevant. Her dad's not relevant. I don't care.
I mean, I haven't even heard of that character. I'm gonna be honest.
So the whole thing is her dad is a villain. I think Clue Master, right?
Clue Master,
And I don't think she's interesting. She dates Tim for a while, but like I never felt like there was chemistry.
Speaking of Tim A.
Yeah, we got Tim.
S.
I think Tim is an amazing Robin, but I don't think Tim comes close to the characters on A tier.
B, then fine.
I think Tim is B.
Yeah. Thank you for a good take, Jake.
Like, you can't tell me that Swamp Thing, The Question, Constantine aren't more relevant and more important than Tim Drake.
Yeah.
Do we need to make a B plus?
Do we even need to make a B? Yes, we need to make a B plus. I don't think we're not supposed to have so many tiers, but we have enough tiers. Get rid of Trash Minus, okay?
No, Trash Minus needs to stay.
Jake's making Trash Minus. Whoa,
He sucks, man. He's not a cool character. I don't care about him. His only relevant run ever is when he's doing heroin in Green Lantern and Green Arrow. Like,
I think
he should die and stay dead.
I would only bump him up to trash because of
because Kyle. Yeah, maybe that's fair.
The only characters on this list that are not good are Orion and Plastic Man. Other than that, all these characters I really like.
Is Superman S plus or is he S?
Superman.
Making the Trinity S tier feels
no.
Making the Trinity S tier feels so boring to me. Like I think one of them on the Trinity needs to be higher than the rest.
I think Superman would have to be higher than the rest.
Superman or Wonder Woman's higher than the rest. Get Batman out of here.
Then should we move Animal Man to S tier from S plus?
Guys, I think Wonder Woman should be.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that.
I think Wonder Woman should be moved up to S plus, and Superman should be moved down because Wonder Woman has way less child endangerment on her.
I think A tier is too populated. We need to move some of A tier up into S tier. If we have S plus, I think you could argue that Constantine and Swamp Thing are more relevant in terms of the runs that they've had and the impact that they've had.
Yeah,
arguably Hal maybe, but like
Hal to S, I think.
But like, basing that off just one run though. Hellblazer has had tons of runs, and Swamp Thing has had tons of runs. You know.
I'm fine moving Swamp Thing up.
Okay.
I think Swamp Thing deserves S.
So let's go through this list and see if there's anything we change. Is there any other character? Should Batman be S plus also? Is that crazy?
Too much child endangerment again.
I don't know.
I mean, Batman sells more than Superman. You know what I mean? It feels weird for Superman. I like Superman more, but this to me looks like a much better list.
But now Wonder Woman's now an S. That's the only girl of the Trinity. Like, what are you insinuating, Jake?
I'm insinuating in terms of relevancy, she should be S plus, but that's not the society we live in.
I think that she should be S plus again because she has had way less child endangerment.
No, keep
to the kids, okay? For the kids, Zach. For the kids,
for the Robins that end up being their option.
Bro, for the 7 side.
Look, maybe this is how I really. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
This list,
I was ready for
I'm
you,
happy.
Tyler,
I'm happy
to
with
ask
this
a question.
list. I just feel like being in the Trinity doesn't magically make you S plus. You know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So let's go through this. Is there anybody that we would take out of S plus?
No.
I don't think
Okay.
so, no.
How do we feel about S tier?
I think S tier's solid.
I think we should add a Hal to S.
I just feel like his groundbreaking Jeff Johns run is amazing, but like, what other groundbreaking relevancy does Green Lantern have?
Him being one of the starters of the Silver Age,
I was
along
gonna
with
say,
Barry.
he's
Should
probably
we
more.
move Barry up because of that since he started the Silver
No,
Age?
I think Green Lantern. Everyone knows Hal Jordan Green Lantern. Whether like even if the movie was really really bad that he was in, Hal is like the poster child of Green Lantern.
And like as a
For
kid,
people
like
who don't really read comics, that's
I would
he's
argue.
cool,
Okay. I feel you're right. And then we move Wally to B tier. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
Green Lantern and Flash to me have this because it depends on what the list is. If it's cultural relevancy, more people know the Flash and Green Lantern than they know the question. But if we're going in caliber of runs or caliber of the character, I would argue that this list is very accurate.
It's sort
and
of a
that
mix of all of it.
maybe Aquaman should be higher. Like
No.
that's probably the only one, but I just don't love Aquaman that much.
No, didn't he like eat fish?
Maybe B- for Aquaman.
I think he's more I mean, his movie grossed $1 billion.
True.
Yeah.
Didn't he like eat fish? Isn't that like kind of cannibalism?
He doesn't talk to fish. He controls them through.
No, but that's like kind of cannibalism, right?
He's not a fish
What's
man.
his species?
He's just Atlantean.
Yeah.
It's like you like.
And he's half Atlantean.
Yeah.
So if he only eats
but
half the
still.
fish. I guess I feel like, okay, controversially, I guess the arguments are, I don't know if Tim Drake is on the same level of Batgirl in terms of relevancy. Like most people know about Robin, the Dick Grayson Robin, and most people know about Batgirl. I would argue that Batgirl is more important than Tim Drake. So
I think that Tim Drake is like the poster Robin of like he is Robin, sort of like has been it.
But he never grew from it. Like I didn't like his name Drake. I didn't like Red Robin. Like
because they don't allow it.
Like you should start as Robin and then move on to something else. Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like I like Red Hood more than I like Tim Drake. Is that controversial to say?
I'd move him to the same tier.
I
want Damian higher, guys. He should not be in trash. Damian, I prefer to Jason, honestly.
I don't think Damian should go any higher than D tier. But the question is, do we move Red Hood up or do we move Tim Drake down?
I think Tim Drake down.
I guess. Tim down.
Because I don't think we can put Red Hood in the same as most of the people on B tier. You can't put Red Hood up against Wally or
Captain Marvel or Batman Beyond.
It just doesn't seem right.
We're gonna get canceled for calling Shazam Captain Marvel in this day and age.
That's how it goes.
Captain Thunder, Captain Marvel. You know, you gotta make a statement, man.
Yeah.
You should put characters on this list that sucked, and we could have just really roasted them like Kyle Rayner.
Plastic Man, Orion. Let's talk about how much Orion sucks, guys.
Hey, it really pushes buttons now. He made the trash minus. He wasn't kidding.
No.
I stand by this list.
All right.
Jake control the hit.
I think B's pretty solid too.
I guess I feel like the only one on B minus is Mr. Terrific C tier. Yeah, I think he's going to be B minus after the Superman movie when more people know, but
right now he's C.
He feels a little high in B minus.
Do we move up John?
Nah.
Or Scott or anyone who's in there?
I would move Scott to B minus. I feel good about this. And then move Barda to C.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a list that I stand behind.
That's fair. This is fine.
This is a good
Except for Kyle and Damien.
list.
Oh no, Jake, please,
Dude.
not another one.
You
No,
just have to like characters that don't suck. Like,
Yeah.
I think all of these are pretty good characters, other than Orion.
cool. So we're coming in at the 50-minute mark. I don't know how much more time you guys have. Was there anything you wanted to ask me? Anything, out now that you guys have me as a guest on your show?
How do you feel about your Tub King interview?
I feel good. I feel like I like engrossed myself in rereading a lot of his work when I thought the podcast was, or the stream was going to be in February, and now I've done a ton of Daredevil reading, so I feel like less prepared than I was when I was like only reading Tom King. I think the hard part is that I don't want to I'm trying too hard to be like one question tied to one work as opposed to like just enjoying the moment and asking what I want to ask. I'm trying too hard to be like, look, I've read everything you've ever done by here, here's a question about Love Everlasting, here's a question about Animal Pound, and I feel like I need to enjoy the moment, and I need to let the conversation flow naturally and not feel dependent on the questions that I've written. You know what I mean? Like, start off with the good questions that I've written and use them if there's an awkward silence or something. But I need to just remember that I just need to have an honest conversation with the creator that I like so much,
Yeah. Now we have some questions for you about Tom King's work partially. What if you could choose 2 more Tom King books to be an absolute, what would you choose?
I think Up in the Sky is such an important storyline. If you guys have read that like to me answers the question of, is Superman boring or not, or the question of like, people like to ask that whole, the trolley question of, if Superman could save one person, and 5 people would die, would he do it, or would he save the 5 and let the one person die? I think the whole point of Superman is that his character would find a way to save the one person and the 5 people and do it all, not through strength and power, but through his humanity and his kindness.
Yeah.
So the right Superman story is one that puts him in a situation where he can't just punch his way out of it, but he has to use his kindness, his compassion, his humanity. And I think Up in the Sky is just such a perfect comic where you read, it's like you can read it and it's like, here's Superman racing the Flash, here's Superman in a boxing match. Like, they're cool little one-off stories, but each one shows why he's so important. I really like that. And then the art in Wonder Woman, Woman of Tomorrow is just groundbreaking.
Yeah, I agree.
I need that. I need a library edition of Helen of Windlehorn. Bill Quist Evely's art is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So I guess those are the 2 that I would choose.
Yeah, I think my favorite Superman book, I need to read Up in the Sky. That might be my top Superman book. My number 1 is Space Age right now. And they do confront the trolley problem, but that's not the main part of the book.
Yeah, that's another one where I feel like they answer that trolley problem. I want to read. I think the Dark Dark Age, Batman Dark Age comes out next, right? That's in like I'm excited to read that one. So I think Mark Russell is an awesome writer, and I want to keep reading more of him. His Flintstones run was awesome back when DC did those Hanna-Barbera cartoon comics. There's an awesome crossover issue where Booster Gold meets up with them. So that was fun.
Wow. And then there's you have your Mad Men All Red Deluxe, like all 7 of the libraries, 6.
How many is it? I can't see a water bottle's blocking it, but I got all of them. And how amazing is that everything creator owned he's ever done in one uniform collection?
That's
awesome.
Crazy. That's
Jake.
And he's going to be at Heroes Con, which I finally booked my plane ticket yesterday.
There you go.
So, Jake, Zach's wanting some independent books for his birthday. What should he get?
Yeah, what should I get?
So I'm not as deep into independent books as other people. I would say if you like Invincible, read Radiant Black. I think it's like the best parts of Superboy, the best parts of Spider-Man, the best parts of Invincible, the best parts of Power Rangers all tied up. And the Radiant Black Deluxe Edition is gorgeous. I really love anything by Daniel Warren Johnson. His Murder Falcon is the story of how music can save us through dark times. do a power bomb. I don't care about wrestling. I know a lot of people are obsessed with wrestling, but it made me care about wrestling. It's about wrestling with grief as much as wrestling in the ring. So that's awesome. What else do I really like? Once in Future is really good. It's got awesome Dan Moore art. It's like Arthurian legend tales. But I would ask, like, what kind of genres do you like? Like, what's an indie book that you
You
love?
like horror, right, Zach?
Yo, horror's good. I'm just recently, probably after finish recording this, I'm gonna record my review on Layla Starr.
Made us Layla Star.
Nice. The Mini Desolate Star was awesome.
That was a phenomenal book.
So for horror, I would assume, have you read Something Is Killing the Children?
I have not yet.
No, the only indie that he's read is
so Something Is Killing the Children, I think, is probably the most relevant indie horror comic right now. It's got awesome action, amazing art, and they just keep building a big universe. And it's what got my wife, who's not a comic book fan, into comics. Scott Snyder has one called Witches that she loved. Once in Futures is a little more on the action side, but it's action horror. And she really liked one called Dark Ride, which is basically like a Disneyland in hell. So Dark Ride, Witches, Something Is Killing the Children. That's, horror is how I got my wife into comics. Little bit less horror and a little more psychological and a slower burn is Nice House on the Lake by the Tinian who did Something Is Killing the Children. And that's getting us, I think the sequel series is currently out in single issues, Nice House by the Sea. So is there any other horror ones that I liked? Ice Cream Man is good. If you like anthologies, Ice Cream Man is also really good.
Cool. Yeah, this sounds interesting. And I think that's some good books to start with. So now I think before we wrap, we have a new segment partially. And that is, what are you reading? What are you watching? And what videos are you working on?
Okay, so what am I reading? I just finished Transmetropolitan Volume 1. I am trying to read the last of the absolutes that I haven't fully read before because I get my final absolute next week, and then I'm trying to shoot a video that showcases a quick summary of every absolute edition ever. So I'm excited for that. So Transmetropolitan is basically, it's based off the author Hunter S. Thompson, who was like a crazy drug addict that was like a really anti-establishment writer back in the day. It's what Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is based on. And this is done by Warren Ellis, who's one of the best comic writers of all time. He did Authority, which changed the landscape. He did Planetary, which changed the landscape. And this is about, Warren Ellis. So that one, I just finished that. I was only going to read a little bit of it, but I read the entire absolute in one sitting. Like I could not put it down.
Yeah.
So I absolutely loved it. I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals right now. I don't normally play video games, but I've been getting super addicted to that. And we just got done watching Cobra Kai and all the Daredevil shows that lead into Born Again. So we're on a little bit of a pause of watching things until Born Again comes back. I think that'll be the next thing that we watch together. I tried the Spider-Man show. I didn't like it. I just felt like it was a little too young for me. Did you guys watch
like the show?
Well, you're a little younger than me. It's okay. I felt like it was meant for like a little bit of a younger crowd than me.
I think more than a little bit.
Yeah, okay. I would have loved that show if it had come out in middle school, But like to me, it doesn't have like anything to say other than it's just
better.
fun.
It gets better.
I want to watch the episode with Daredevil in it. I feel like I'll like that one.
That one's really good.
Episode 6.
I don't know how we've never got a Daredevil animated show. I feel like
because
that'd be
he's Daredevil.
Yeah.
Unless it's based on Blade Runner, it's hard to do a Daredevil show that's not like rated R.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and the video I just filmed today, like before this podcast, I was in talks with DC to do a video on DC Ultra recently, but the problem was I've already done a really long video on how to read digital comics where I covered it, and I just didn't know, I didn't want to just do the video just to do the video if I didn't have anything new. And they were supposed to give me a free year of the service, but then they were like, "Oh, you already have the service," because I'm a paying customer, and they were like, I don't think we can give you a year after this year." So then I said, okay, can I give the year out as a giveaway? And they said, no, it has to go to me. So I wasn't going to do the video. And then they emailed me a few days later and they had some new information for me to announce in the video. And they said, we'll give you a year after your current years. But then they only gave me 2 days to make the video. So like, I just had to rush it out this morning with Jordan because I have book club later today. Yeah. So that was like, it's not a great video. It's going to be like 6 minutes long about the new announcements of DC Ultra. But still cool that I got to do a video for DC. Like that's always like a dream come true.
Yeah. I think for what we're watching, I've just started rewatching Daredevil. I started doing it like 2 months ago and then I like stopped. And then now I think I'm on episode 11. So
Nice.
I have a lot to catch up on before.
Honestly, like even 12 or 13 episodes felt long to me now. I was like, just give me 8 episodes,
well,
you know. But also I feel like TV writers usually get paid by the episode. So maybe, you know, they don't get rerun money anymore. So yeah, maybe more episodes for a show is good. And then what are you guys reading?
Zach, what have you?
I've been watching the weekly episodes of Solo Leveling that have been coming out.
Okay.
I need to start rewatching Daredevil and I need to finish. I have so many shows, the DC animated ones. I haven't started Creature Commandos yet. And
Creature Commandos was awesome.
I've heard it was phenomenal. So I need to get on that. What are you reading right now, Alex?
So I've been reading. I have my 2 omnis that I'm reading right now, which is Bendis Daredevil and Green Lantern Volume 1, where I think that's where I saw the Big Barda being in like the dress.
Okay.
With Plastic Man.
Yeah.
So I think that's the final sort of the thing that I'm reading right now. And then hopefully tomorrow I will have my Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6. It's been stuck in shipping and delayed twice.
That sucks, man. I was gonna laugh if my Amazing Spider-Man 6 came before yours.
Did you pre-order it?
No, he just sent it to me. So I'll probably give it to Jordan since I don't collect the Amazing Spider-Man omnis.
But you collect the Tashins.
I do. I like my Spider-Man in oversized, you know.
Oversized?
No, I just like I have such a random assortment of X-Men and Spider-Man omnis that like I just need to sell them all and start over and like actually collect with some organization instead of just like what the new releases are, you know. Like I like my X-Men omnis are all like 10 years apart in like the storyline of X-Men's.
Yeah, I'd get so you have volume 2, I'd get like volume 3 and then try to get 1 and then hopefully 4 is reprinted.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait for 1 to get reprinted.
And then right now I'm reading the Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four omni.
Nice. Okay.
So learning more about the Council of Reeds and
yeah,
all that stuff's coming out. That might
I feel like that'll be relevant for the new movie. I bet, you know, a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Which I'm excited for the new Fantastic Four movie. I love the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And my opinion is that the older Fantastic Four movies weren't actually bad. They were just a product of the time when better movies were coming out. So
yes, I agree as well.
Except for the amount of like nude scenes with Jessica Alba that they like did like jokes with their powers.
Yeah, but even
you got to give the people what they want, you know.
Hey, that's true. That's true.
You gotta
Is that why Jess loves that movie?
Omnidog, yes. My wife, yes. I think she likes it because she likes cheesy movies. Well, awesome, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anything else, or is was that it?
I think what we're working on is he's doing an Ultimates video. We have the animated series retrospective. We just wrapped a video about animated series we want in the DCU, and I think that's it.
So I guess my question is, based on this tier list, if you could have an animated show for one character, what would you choose?
Nightwing.
The question.
I would say for me, because like I think Nightwing is cool, but I would choose Animal Man, Swamp Thing, or The Question. I think that would be, or even Constantine. Those would be, I think, the
Zatanna?
4. Zatanna could be cool. But I feel like I would rather have Constantine be the showrun, like the main character, and Zatanna pop up, you know?
Yeah.
I love when Zatanna pops up in Batman comics, like the Paul Dini omnibus. I think she's great. But to me, like a Swamp Thing animated or an Animal Man animated or Constantine or Question would be sick. I heard at one point they were working on a Question series, but I think the rights get a little murky because like, you know, it wasn't originally a DC character. So all that rights mumbo jumbo stuff gets super weird. The Question would be awesome though.
DC bought the company outright, Charleston.
Yeah, but I think at one point Kevin Smith was working on a pitch for a Question show, and then he said that they ran into rights issues. So I don't know what that holds, you know.
Yeah.
But awesome, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the videos you have on the horizon. I'm excited to come back on the podcast someday. And
Someday.
you know, I appreciate all the support, guys. Like you know, I started out, you know, a smaller channel than you guys. And it just takes, you know, I like that quote that Seth Rogen says where if you quit, you won't succeed, but if you keep going, you might, you know, or how does it go? If you don't quit, you might succeed, but if you do quit, you definitely won't. So just keep at it and keep doing what's fun. Don't try to emulate other channels and just do what you want to do. And, you know, everything will grow and it's fun, you know, like enjoy the journey too. Like celebrate every little milestone because each one's special, you know, is my advice.
Yeah.
But cool, guys. Anything else?
I think that's really it.
Okay, so let me know when to click end recording.
Just end it.
Yeah, whenever.
Okay. I'll get rid of that outro.